Thank you for watching this video. My name is Muhammad Abduroaf. I'm an advocate, and part of my practice is family law matters. Today's topic, child custody and child maintenance in a divorce situation. Basically, a couple is in the process of getting divorced, but what happens regarding the issue concerning child custody and child maintenance? Obviously, while the couple is living together, the children will be living in the same home, usually. But once they get divorced and they move into two separate homes, what happens to the minor kids? Will the minor children be residing with one parent for 1 week and with the other parent the following week? Or what is the case? Will it be every second weekend with the one parent and sharing of half the school holidays, special days, Christmas, birthdays, Father's Day, Mother's Day, and so on? These are the challenges which couples experience when dealing with child custody and child maintenance in a divorce situation. Obviously, if the minor children are residing with one parent and that parent will have to pay the water, the electricity, feed the minor children, dress the minor children, clothe the minor children, and so on, the other parent will have to contribute. And that sometimes becomes a challenge because the parties do not want to share, or one party does not want to pay towards a minor child expenditure. When I say share, for example, school fees, the parties might decide, you know what, Dad, you have always been paying the school fees. Now that the parties are getting divorced, Dad should continue paying the school fees. But Dad says, no, we want to share those expenditure, etc. So in today's video, we will discuss those specific scenarios and also assist you if you are going through a divorce, how to traverse or how to deal with these specific issues. So the typical scenario would be while the parties are living together as husband and wife, they both share equally in the caring of the minor child or the minor children. The mom might be the one that wakes up early, attends to breakfast, takes the minor children to school, and the dad might be the one that collects them, or the dad might be the one that attends to homework later on the evening, whatever the scenario is. Or the dad might be the one that does not do much. He basically spends time with the kids on weekends and pays for the various expenditure of the minor children. But that is a scenario. Now, a couple will come to my office and they'll say, Advocate, our marriage has broken down. It cannot be saved. We tried counseling. We spoke to various people and we cannot resolve this issue. We will have to get divorced. That's what the couple tells me. I accept it. And now we need to discuss issues. The first issue, which is not part of this topic today, would be the issue concerning the joint estate. If they are married in community of property, what happens there? If they are married out of community of property with accrual, obviously that is an issue. We will have to calculate the accrual. Hopefully not later on. It's best to do it before the divorce takes place. But if the parties are married out of community property without the accrual regime, it's much, much easier, unless the parties have jointly purchased an immovable property, or they co-own some assets. But that's something else for another date and for another webinar or video. Now the couple is sitting in my office. The first question I'll ask is, what happens to the minor children? With who will the minor children be residing after the divorce? Sometimes and many times, they would have come to my office with an agreement regarding where the primary care of the minor kids will be. In my scenario, I will say the mother, the parties have agreed that the child will remain with the mom, or the kids will remain with the mom. But the house will ultimately have to be sold, where the parties are living in, or the parties will have to move out of the house. Now the question is the new accommodation where the mother will be moving to, is it adequate? Will it be able to house the two minor children and the mother? So these are the specific challenges and questions that has to be posed. Alternatively, The other parent might say, I'm happy with the mother having primary care, but now the question is, what type of contact should the father have? Can he have contact every second weekend? Does he have the facilities? Does he have a room available? Because as we are sitting in the office there, they are still living in the same three-bedroom, two-bedroom apartment that they have been living in or house since they got married. But now they will be traversing or going into a different scenario, a different life, and they needed to discuss these specific issues. But at the same time, they want to get divorced in the next month or two, which isn't impossible. And once they are divorced, the husband will be moving out or the wife will be moving out first, whatever scenario, and now they have to deal with these specific aspects. Now, let's park that for one moment. Let's say they have come to an agreement that the mother will be the primary caregiver and the father will have contact every second weekend, and they have worked out the mother will remain in the home for the next 2, 3 years, or she will buy out the father, whatever the facts are, and the father will have an apartment where the minor children can reside. They have resolved it, we discussed it, and we have come to some type of a solution. We have discussed the issue of when the father will have contact. Yes, every second weekend, after school holidays, special days, Christmas, New Year's, and all those other special days, the minor child's birthday, etc. We have resolved that. All written down, and we are happy. We discussed it, we debated it. Now the other issue comes in, the issue of child maintenance. Seeing that the mother will be living with seeing that the child or the children will be living with the mother for most of the time. The father has the minor kids on a 4-week cycle, every second weekend from a Friday till a Sunday. That's 2 nights. So basically, for a 4-week period, he has the minor children for 4 nights, every second weekend from a Friday to a Sunday. And the mother has the minor children for the rest of the time. Obviously, kids eat, they wash, they use the bathroom. That costs money. And somebody will have to pay for that. Now I'll have to look at the income of the parents. We'll have to work something out here because the father will have to contribute, but also his level of contribution will be dependent upon his income and his capabilities, so what he can afford to pay. And the same with the mother. What can the mother afford to pay towards the minor children's expenditure? Obviously, we want to have a fair situation. For argument's sake, let's say the parties both earn, I'm using a round figure here, let's say 1,000 rand, both parents earns 1,000 rand. And now the mother will have to pay for rent, accommodation, and she would not have had a certain type of home. Had she have lived on her own, she would have had a 1-bedroom flat, but now she has to have a 2 or 3-bedroom flat because of the minor kids. These are factors that has to be considered. She will obviously have to pay towards the minor children's expenditure, day-to-day expenditures, etc. These are figures. These are amounts that will have to be worked out, and the father will have to contribute towards that as well. So at the end of the whole exercise, we have to find something fair. So the mother might spend towards the minor children's expenditure, let's say 500 rand in my example, and the father will have to contribute something towards that, preferably half of that. But it will be now towards the day-to-day expenditure of the minor kids. Then there is the issue concerning school fees. Who will be paying the school fees? Preferably, both parties will have to pay the school fees because they are both earning the same amount of income. And so we move on to medical aid, etc., etc., etc. So these are the issues the parties will have to discuss before getting divorced. And once they have resolved these specific issues, they make the life of myself, the advocate or the attorney, whatever the case may be, very easy, as well as the court and the office of the family advocate who would have to endorse the specific settlement agreement. I thank you for your time and I wish you all the best.